This is the EKB TV Evening News. Local news at 6.
Tonight on EKB Evening News at 6. There are still many questions in a Pike County murder case. Good evening. I'm Gary Sloan.
And I'm Cindy Mae Johnson. Yesterday, 49-year-old Zachary Avina of Phelps was found stabbed to death. Today, many details are still not available. At this time, we don't know of a motive, and no suspect has been identified. EKB News reporter Shelby Steele is continuing to investigate this case and brings us the latest in this report.
Just around 3 p.m. Monday evening on Mount Wolford Branch in the Phelps area, an apparent stabbing death occurred. No suspects have been found at this time.
The Pike County Sheriff's Office received a call of a body on the railroad tracks here in the community of Phelps. Officers responded. A victim was found on the tracks, and at this time we have opened a death investigation into that incident.
A neighbor found the victim, who has been identified as 49-year-old Zachary D. Avina, beside the railroad tracks just outside his home on Mount Wolford Branch, and called 911. Upon arrival, officials say Avina also received a head injury.
Appeared to have blows to the head and was stabbed numerous times.
As of now, officials have no leads on the apparent suspect.
We're just putting together the evidence from the scene, matching it up with the evidence that was found on the victim. We have an autopsy pending on the victim that was found, and some evidence collection that we need to look into and analyze the scene.
Police say this could be a long process, and details of the altercation are unknown at this time.
Anyone with any information can contact the Sheriff's Department. It's 606-432-6260.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shelby Steele.
EKB is continuing to monitor this story. We'll keep you updated as more information becomes available.
A state highway worker was arrested yesterday after being indicted on drug trafficking charges. 53-year-old Tyrone Hayburn was arrested during a traffic stop on Lorraine Street in Pikeville. Police say the indictment came as a result of an extensive investigation.
Approximately 2 o'clock yesterday, there's a traffic stop conducted. At that time, Mr. Tyrone Hayburn was arrested on a trafficking warrant for trafficking controlled substance. The warrant was issued in reference to an ongoing investigation, pretty lengthy investigation, in reference to him trafficking controlled substances.
The Pikeville Police Department is not releasing many details about the arrest, saying the investigation is continuing.
As Altec's investment in Pikeville grows, the company's influence on the community continues to grow as well.
City leaders recently returned from Dundalk, Ireland, hometown of company founder Dr. Pierce Lyons.
In this first of a two-part series, EKB News reporter Shannon Deskins talks to City Manager Donovan Blackburn about the lessons he brought home and the evolving landscape of Pikeville.
Pikeville City Manager Donovan Blackburn, along with Commissioner Barry Cheney, recently returned from Ireland, where they visited Pikeville's new sister city, Dundalk, hometown of Altec founder Dr. Pierce Lyons. Blackburn said the similarities between the two cities will help both areas overcome challenges and will foster growth.
What the intent of this trip was real simple, is you've got a company, Altec, that has roots in Ireland, has roots in Kentucky. There's a lot of similarities. You've got a gentleman like Dr. Lyons and his wife Deidre that's investing millions of dollars in Eastern Kentucky and wants Pikeville to learn as much from Ireland as Ireland to learn as much from Pikeville.
Altec's name has been in the news in the past several months since the announcement of the new brewery distillery to be built in downtown Pikeville. City officials believe the new business will bring additional tourism money to Pikeville as well as additional jobs.
So it's not just about a distillery or brewery in downtown Pikeville. It's about helping downtown Pikeville grow and prosper. There's other businesses in downtown that needs foot traffic, that needs people to come down to patron them as much as they do down in the Walmart area. So when you bring a distillery and brewery in downtown and you create a segment as part of the Bourbon Trail, then what you're doing is you're luring 30, 40, 50,000 people a year into downtown area that will patronize the local restaurant or visit the local gift shop or the local apparel store. So it's a great opportunity to expose people in other areas to our region as well.
Work has already begun on the project, and when deciding on a name for the distillery, Dr. Pierce Lyons looked back at the Irish heritage of the people of our region.
The design has already been done. It will be a new distillery brewery under the name Dueling Barrels, which I'm really excited about. Again, it's a play off of the Hatfield-McCoy feud, going back to the lineage and the heritage of the McCoy family coming through Scotland, through Ireland, and then landing in eastern Kentucky.
Demolition in the area that you see behind me is nearly complete, and Blackburn told us in the next couple of weeks we could enter into the construction phase of the project. For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shannon Deskins.
Tomorrow, Shannon will conclude this series with a look at the city's plans for Marion Branch.
The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet will hold a public meeting Tuesday, April 14th, to provide information about alternative for extending the Mountain Parkway along Route 114 corridor between Salyersville and Prestonsburg. The open house will run from 5 to 7:30 p.m. at Prestonsburg Elementary School. Maps and other informational displays will be available, and officials will be on hand to discuss the project. Written and oral statements will be accepted, and a comment sheet will be distributed for written comments.
8 families have been displaced by a fire this afternoon. An old flower pot was being used as an ashtray, and that's being blamed for the fire that damaged 8 apartments at Highlands Heights Apartments in Prestonsburg. The fire began in an upstairs apartment, spread to the attic, and then wind spread the fire throughout the complex. According to fire officials, the older apartments had insufficient fire breaks between attic spaces. No one was injured in the fire, and emergency housing has been secured for all 8 families. Prestonsburg Police and Fire Departments responded to the blaze with assistance from the Allen Volunteer Fire Department.
Well, coming up, AARP is providing free tax assistance at the Floyd County Library every Tuesday.
And officials at the Breaks Interstate Park are planning for the upcoming year. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
News at 6 is presented by Pikeville Medical Center.
At long last, spring is here, and officials at Breaks Interstate Park are preparing for the 2015 tourist season. In addition to the many traditional park activities such as hiking and camping, the park will offer its visitors a variety of new activities beginning this year.
Yeah, we're excited about seeing people coming back and getting our visitors back for the 2015 season. Some of the things that visitors can look forward to this year is we've actually partnered with some local companies and different organizations to try to start some new packages this year. Among those, we're going to be doing a whitewater package that lasts throughout the spring and then starts again in the fall. We are going to be doing elk viewing packages this year. Buchanan County, Virginia just recently reestablished an elk herd. So our elk viewing packages will be similar to what Jenny Wiley State Park in Prestonsburg offers its visitors. And we're also looking at possibly partnering with Pikeville on its Zip Paddle Saddle package, and trying to actually provide transportation for park visitors down to the city of Pikeville in order for them to be able to take advantage of some of the things that Pikeville has going on.
The events begin this weekend at the park with an Easter egg hunt on Saturday and sunrise services on Sunday.
The deadline to file your income taxes is just 2 weeks away. For those who might need a little help filling out the forms, we've got good news. AARP offers a free tax clinic every Tuesday at the Floyd County Public Library. EKB TV News Director Ralph Davis tells us more.
Tuesdays are tax time at the Floyd County Public Library. That is when AARP holds its Tax Aid Clinic, which is free and open to the public. Program Coordinator Anita Snyder says AARP's tax preparers try to see as many people as possible.
This year so far we've done at least 150 some returns, and it's a first come first served basis, and there's no fee for any of the returns. We don't do real complicated ones because we are restricted in what we can do, but any that we've had so far we've been able to do.
For clients like Clyde Blevins, the Tax Aid program is a valuable resource when budgets are tight.
I think this is a wonderful thing you people do. If for people like us, it is so hard for us to get our taxes done without costing half of what we get in return. You know, it is The other tax places, they just cost so much to do this. And people like us on fixed incomes and that, we just can't do it. You know, it is so hard for us. It's a wonderful thing you people do. It sure is. It's absolutely wonderful. And I thank you very much.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Ralph Davis.
The East Kentucky Expo Center is looking for volunteers to serve as ambassadors during upcoming shows. Center Marketing Manager Kevin Roberts explained during an appearance on the Daybreak Morning Show on WDHR this morning that the ambassadors would assist the venue in a variety of ways.
We need some ambassadors. We need some volunteers. We need people who can go meet people when they're standing in line and say, hey, how are you? Do you want a picture of your group together?
Right.
Or maybe they're just standing inside saying, you know, the restroom is right this way, or you're in section 206, you need to go this way.
Right.
Or maybe you get to be one of the great ambassadors who is a liaison to the artist for us.
Roberts said those interested in volunteering should apply in person at the East Kentucky Expo Center.
Citing a lack of response from the public, the Martin County Sheriff's Office has announced it will no longer keep its business office open every Saturday. Sheriff John Kirk made the announcement via Facebook yesterday, saying from now on the office will only be open on the last Saturday of each month. When the last Saturday falls on a holiday weekend and the office is closed that Friday, the office will open the following Saturday.
The University of Pikeville is looking for the region's best and budding filmmakers. The school is planning a film and media arts festival to take place May 1st and 2nd. Entries of all types and lengths will be accepted from both professionals and students as long as they're shot in Kentucky, Virginia, or West Virginia, or by filmmakers from or residing in one of those states. Awards will include cash prizes and scholarships. The deadline for entry is April 15th. For guidelines or more information, visit fmafest.org. Well, coming up from the hardwood to the diamond, Jamie Johnson has all the sports world covered.
But first, EKB Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins will be in with our forecast. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
The weather with Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins is presented by the Ira Branham Law Office.
It has been an absolutely glorious day today.
Yes.
It has indeed. Temperatures well into the low to mid 70s, which is well above average for this time of the year. The warm weather is going to stick around, though. The Doppler radar showing, well, no rain to speak of. That is definitely some good news. Another dry day, a windy day as a front made its way across the region. That front responsible for not only the gusty winds, but those warm temperatures as well. And you can see that front, mainly a cloud producer from southern parts of West Virginia into southeast Kentucky, southwest Virginia, now continuing to move off to the south. And as it does so, the winds will begin to die down through the rest of this evening and overnight tonight. But boy, talk about the temperatures. 74 degrees right now in Pikeville, 75 in Prestonsburg, Paintsville, 72 in Inez, a little cooler with some of the higher elevations, 65 degrees in Dorton, and near 70 right now in Wise. This is a perfect late March evening, if you ask me. Now those winds, as I mentioned, being gusty at times, had a 53-mile-per-hour gust in Dorton. Of course, again, that is a higher elevation. Even in Pikeville, 28, 32 miles per hour in Prestonsburg, and near 30 in Paintsville a little bit earlier today. We're broadening the picture with the satellite and radar composite. You can see that front making its way off to the south. Again, just a cloud maker for us, but the severe weather, yeah, that's possible down to the south. You see some of these watch boxes across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia. Severe thunderstorms ongoing to our south. The good news is we do not have any type of severe weather to contend with here over the next several days. On the surface map, what to expect? Well, there you see that front moving through. Once it does so, high pressure builds in, and that's going to make for another nice day for tomorrow. The next chance of rain will actually hold off until later Thursday, and that is with a front that you'll see here on the upper left-hand side of your screen. This is another system that we will be watching again for Thursday, and especially during the day on Friday. Temperatures here for tonight back into the upper 30s, low 40s, but tomorrow Of course, with that front moving through, we'll be knocked back down into the 60s, the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Don't worry, those 70s will be back as early as Thursday afternoon. 70s all across the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Now, we do take a little bit of a temperature hit as we get into the weekend. We'll talk about that here in just a second. The pollen count for tomorrow, sponsored by Faith Pharmacy, 9.9 out of a possible 12. Thursday, it's going to be a miserable day for those folks that suffer from allergies, near the max at 11.5 out of 12. And then, of course, with the rain moving in on Friday, that will drop back down to near 8. The 5-day forecast, 68 degrees for tomorrow, 76 Thursday, 72 on Friday. Better chance of rain on Friday. Early showers Saturday, 55 degrees, but just in time for Easter. Things begin to look up. For those sunrise services, temperatures will be in the 30s and then back in the mid-60s for Easter Sunday afternoon. So, holiday's not looking bad at all.
No, that sounds like a perfect Easter
really
forecast.
does.
Bundle up for the sunrise service.
That's right, temperatures in the mid-30s.
Thanks, Lathan. Last night was the first of a 2-night series of concerts at the University of Pikeville to commemorate Music in Our Schools Month. Last night's performance was a faculty recital featuring several UPike professors as well as some guests. As we learn in the next report, the focus of the evening was to enlighten as well as to entertain.
The National Association for Music Education has observed Music in Our Schools Month every March since 1985, but this is the first year UPike has celebrated the occasion with performances. During last night's faculty recital, organizer and assistant professor of music Janine Freeman explained that the intent is not merely to entertain, but also to educate.
With this particular type of program, it introduces literature that may be unfamiliar to our students here at UPike, or maybe some of our community members who come in and enjoy the performance. But perhaps there's something that they find that's unfamiliar that they like, that sparks that interest, where they'll go out and listen to more works like the works that were featured on tonight's program. Or maybe if they're musicians themselves, they'll go out and find that music and study the score and perform the piece elsewhere and introduce that music to another person who may have not heard it before.
For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Courtney Lovren.
And that is a wonderful program.
Sounds like you could learn something and enjoy the music.
Absolutely. And we'll be back with sports in just 2 minutes.
You know, it's been a gorgeous day, and as usual, accolades are pouring on to Coach Cal.
Third time he's won National Coach of the Year honors today.
Pretty cool.
Kind of a late-breaking story. While the National Championship Trophy is yet to be awarded, the NABC has announced that John Calipari has been named National Coach of the Year. Wisconsin's Frank Kaminsky was named National Player of the Year as well. A formal presentation of the awards will happen during each team's respective press conference from the Final Four later this week. While the Kentucky Wildcats boarded a charter bus to Indianapolis earlier this afternoon, at least 3 Louisville Cardinals flew the coop. Sophomore guard Anton Gill has announced that he will transfer from U of L. Gill averaged 9 minutes per game and 2.5 points per contest. He'll have 2 years of eligibility remaining. Sophomore guard Terry Rozier and junior forward Montrezl Harrell plan to depart Louisville and enter the NBA draft. Now, if you include senior Wayne Blackshear and dismissed guard Chris Jones, Cardinals coach Rick Pitino will have to replace 6 players from this year's squad. One potential target could be 5th-year eligible Trey Lewis. He's a 6'2" combo guard who is leaving Cleveland State. On the coaching carousel, Tennessee made it official today, hiring Texas head basketball coach Rick Barnes, a 6-year deal paying $2.25 million per season. Barnes became the 4th different head coach for the Vols in 6 seasons. He took Texas to the NCAA tournament 16 of 17 years he was at the school. And if you'll remember, he was mentioned as a possible replacement for Tubby Smith at Kentucky before the Cats took that Billy Clyde guy. Oh my. On the high school ranks, Mingo Central senior guard Dikembe Dixon has reportedly picked up 3 scholarship offers from SEC schools just this week. South Carolina, Arkansas, and Mississippi State have reportedly offered the 6'7" 3-star recruit. Marshall and Bradley U have previously made offers to Dixon. Time for some highlights. Softball action from yesterday. Shelby Valley played host to Paintsville. Lady Tigers weren't playing around. Top of the first, Paintsville's Anna Keaton with the hit to third. That would advance Paige Taylor. Tigers threatening early. Shelby Valley pitcher Mackenzie Johnson, the struggle was real yesterday. Anna Claire Rice with the crush to left field, and that would score Paige Taylor. The Tigers are up early. Johnson she would take matters into her own hands, striking out Paintsville's Megan Taylor to end the frame. Shelby Valley trying to rally against Paintsville here. Sydney Jones with a slap to short. Out at first, yet heads up base running here. Cassidy Begley would advance to third, getting herself in scoring position 90 feet away. But when it was all said and done, Paintsville would get the win 14-0. Other softball scores, Pikeville picked up their first win at the beach, 8-7 over Kinston, Ohio from the Ripken Experience Tournament at Myrtle Beach. McGoffin County defeated Belfry 9-4. Also, Pike Central slipped past Phelps 3-2. It was Prestonsburg knocking off Allen Central in district play 13-2. Baseball, the Prestonsburg Blackcats have dropped their first 7 games this season. Could they break the streak against Pike Central last night? Let's take a look. Top of the first, Prestonsburg's Bryce Tucker on the mound. He would induce a ground ball from Aaron Scott. A little help from friends. First baseman John Cooksey would step on the bag here. Made that play previously as well. Hunter Clark's ground ball out. Blackcats were off to a good start. Cooksey here would use the bat. Top of the second. Shot over the center fielder P.J. Soward's head. Cooksey would cruise in the second with a stand-up double. Hawks hurler Mac Justice trying to escape the jam. Yet a wild pitch here would advance Cooksey to third. 2 out. However, Prestonsburg's Nick Rowe with a ground ball to third. A recovery by the Hawk defense that would get Justice out of the inning. It was a pitcher's duel early on before Pike Central's bullpen yielded 4 runs in the 6th, giving the Blackcats their first win of the season, 7-1 the final. Other scores from Myrtle Beach, the Pikeville Panthers picked up their 9th consecutive win on the diamond, a 6-5 victory over Buckeye, Ohio. Close to the home, Allen Central won their 5th game of the season, defeating McGoffin County 13-3. From the Perfect Game Spring Swing Tournament in Emerson, Georgia, Johnson Central, the Golden Eagles, fell to New Trier, Illinois, 5-3, and Lawrence County lost in their appearance there, 5-3 as well. Eastridge outlasted South Floyd 10-9. Sheldon Clark took out Knott County Central 11-2. And that's a look at sports.
Thanks, Jamie. You always make it seem really fast.
Sports is a fast-paced thing.
Yeah,
you know,
a lot
usually
going on.
Yes.
And we'll be back in 2 minutes.
How do we give every patient the best medical care possible? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that brings you access to the finest medical knowledge anywhere, right here at home. Pikeville Medical Center, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
Hello, Hope here for Walters Nissan. I told my mom, the boss, that we should advertise Nissan Altimas for a really low price this month. She said they cost over $20,000. Well, while they're talking, this girl is shopping. 2015 Nissan Altima, quantity 10, price $16,900, arrival tomorrow. Order now. Click.
Where in the world are we going to find it?
Shh.
Walters Nissan, located north of Pikeville.
Wolf, Williams, and Reynolds have been representing coal miners and their families for over 30 years. If you need representation for Social Security, disability, personal injury, auto accident, workers' compensation, and of course, black lung benefits, give them a call at 1-800-446-0167. Stop by and see them and tell them Ralph 2 sent you.
Men's wardrobe is provided by the Men's Corner, Weddington Plaza. We've got you covered.
Well, Lathan, weather for tonight?
Tonight we're back down in the upper 30s, low 40s, but tomorrow 68 degrees, mostly sunny skies. The rain holds off until Thursday.
Sounds good. And we're going to revisit maybe some old high school days.
Yeah, some retro videos tonight. Mel's Video Rewind when we conclude this newscast.
Well, that will do it for tonight's EKB Evening News. Remember, you can get more local news anytime by listening to the radio stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting.
And of course, you can follow EKB News and EKB TV on Facebook and Twitter. We're going to leave you tonight with music not from our high school days, okay? This is from today's Holy Week service at Pikeville United Methodist Church. You may remember today's featured musician, Janine Freeman. We featured her earlier in the newscast. Good night. Thanks for watching.